Hi, this is Chris with Pause Yoga. Today I'm going to take you through a lesson and a sequence that's meant to bring your attention to the ways that yoga can help with peripheral neuropathy. I'm having trouble saying that today. Peripheral neuropathy. I know many of us with HIV have issues with neuropathy, either because of side effects of the meds or because of having issues with diabetes or other things that can also cause neuropathy. So I'm going to take you through a few exercises and stretches that should help to bring attention to those areas, help out with those areas, as well as just talk a bit more about the ways that a general yoga practice can help. So you will need a tennis ball. You will need a chair. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can probably get by with a therapy ball or some other sort of ball, or you can even just give yourself a foot massage, because that's what we're going to be doing with the tennis ball. So yeah, let's get going. So yoga has been shown to help with peripheral neuropathy. Studies have shown that a general yoga practice really helps with neuropathy. And it seems that just the way that yoga sort of brings attention to different parts of the body, the way it works with both strength and flexibility in areas like the hands and the feet, really helps to innervate those parts of the body and sort of bring them back to life if you have issues with neuropathy. So in this class, we're gonna go through a few things, really trying to wake up the feet and the hands, focusing a bit more on the feet. And I'm also gonna talk to you just a little bit more about what to do in your normal yoga practices to bring more attention to those areas and hopefully help to alleviate your symptoms more, because it does seem that yoga can do that as long as you practice. So yeah, let's get going. So just starting off with the tennis ball, as I said in the intro, if you don't have a tennis ball for this part, feel free to just sit in a chair and massage your feet. So we're going to start off with the tennis ball on the right foot. And just place the tennis ball just beneath the ball of your foot, just the beginning of the arch. There's a little spot right there, right in the center of the arch. And let's start off by just stepping down on the ball and then releasing. So if this is too intense for you, just standing on the ball, feel free to sit on the front of a chair and do these same exercises. So I like to do it standing, because I like that pressure on my feet. I like really putting the pressure into it. It feels good. But if your feet are really tender, this might be too much. So, and by pressing and releasing, we're just slowly starting to sort of massage this area and bring sort of blood and oxygen into that part of the foot. So now, in the same part of the foot, just beneath the ball of your foot, just move the ball back and forth. So we're sort of working across those fibers, working across the inner arch and the medial arch and the outside of the foot. And just move it around a little bit. Just make it feel good. If you have issues balancing as you're doing this, feel free to grab onto a chair or a wall, or just make this practice your own. So now let's place the ball just in front of the heel of the foot. Again, just right where the arch begins, the other end of that arch, and do the same thing. So press down and release. So just step on the ball and release, and just make this feel good. It shouldn't be painful. If it's kind of on that edge where it still feels good, that's great. But if you're going over that edge and it just hurts, it's just not worth doing it. It's better just work within those comfortable edges in anything you're doing in yoga. So now do the same thing, just moving back and forth just in front of your heel, massaging that whole area. And now the last thing we're going to do on this foot is step down at the first spot we were at, right up in front of the ball of the foot. Step down, roll the ball back, and release, just right in front of your heels. So you're massaging that whole arch area. And really work on the inner arch, like the inside of your foot, and the medial arch, and the outside of the foot. Just kind of step near the ball, roll it back towards the heel, and just repeat. This should feel really good. So, yeah, again, if you need to sit down, if you need less pressure, just take care of yourself. So let's move over to the left foot. And again, just right beneath the ball of the foot, press and release. You can use a therapy ball for this, but therapy balls are a bit harder. It's almost like a racket ball, and I feel like it doesn't feel as good. I like the way the tennis ball has a little bit of give. So now just roll back and forth just beneath the ball of the foot. Just working those cross fibers. I was a massage therapist for a number of years back when I was in my 20s and 30s. And I know that the feet are one of the places that most people really like to have rubbed unless you have serious issues, but we tend to have so much tension there. So right in front of the heel of the foot, just press down and release. Same thing as the other side. Just play around with how much weight you can put into it, what feels good. Just, again, find those comfortable edges and hang out there. And then moving back and forth, just right in front of your heel. I'm losing the ball. And then the last thing on this foot, I'm right-footed, so it's a little bit harder on this side. On the last thing on this foot is just press down by the ball of the foot and move it towards the heel. So just press down, move it back, and release. And again, really work on coming to the inner arch and the medial arch and the outer arch. Wrangling the ball here. Just make it feel good. Good. Okay, so let's put that to the side. And I want you to just stand, feet maybe outside of the feet, somewhat parallel to each other, if that feels okay in your body. Stand and close your eyes and just feel the soles of your feet on the ground. If you're more comfortable seated, that's great. But we're just focusing on how our feet feel. They should feel a lot more awake than they did a few minutes ago. It's a really good thing to do before a yoga practice. Just do that little foot massage. It's a great way to wake up your feet. So go ahead and lift your toes up and see if you can spread them out and then place them back down. And let's do that again. And I know for a lot of people this is difficult. These are muscles that we're not used to using very often. So just lifting the toes up and spreading them out can be really tough if you're not used to doing it. I'm used to doing it because I do it regularly in my yoga practice. But just bringing that awareness to those muscles in the feet really helps to innervate the feet and will help with neuropathy. The more awareness, the more you work all these muscles in the feet and the legs, hypothetically, the less you should have symptoms of the neuropathy. So at least this study suggests that. So go ahead and really claw your feet with the ground. So see if you can just grip the ground with your toes and engage your arches a little bit, engage your legs here. So in yoga, there are things called bandhas, which mean locks. Bandhas is a Sanskrit word. The most common one is Uddiyana Bandha, which is sort of an engagement of the core, engagement of the abs. There's also Mula Bandha, which is engagement of the pelvic floor. But Pada Bandha, Pada means feet, Hasta means hand. So Pada Bandha is an engagement of the feet. So this clawing of the ground with your feet is Pada Bandha. And you can do this, anytime you're just doing a standing posture. If you think about just engaging the toes, engaging the feet, engaging the legs, it's really, again, going to help to innervate that part of the body. So go ahead and release that, let that go. And now let's work on strengthening and stretching a little bit here. So just lift your right heel off the ground. If you have any issues with balance, again, you can do this in a chair or up against a wall or with a chair in front of you. So let's just do a few reps, lifting your heel off the ground. Really see if you can engage your calf muscles. So we're really trying to engage the calf. And also we're stretching out the toes a little bit by doing this action. So just do that 5 or 6 times. And then the other side, engaging the calf and releasing the heel back down. And just see if you can just start to feel that muscle waking up a little bit. So now this will require balance, and I know for many of you this will not be possible, so I highly encourage either the use of a chair for balance or a wall, or if you just want to sit on the front of the chair and do this same thing, that's great. So, but if you can balance in some way, it really helps to increase the strength. So lift both heels off the ground, stand on your tippy toes, as it were, and let's just come back down. So let's do that a few times. And just really see if you can feel that strength. And again, this will be stretching out your toes a little bit and those arches just a little bit. And again, do whatever you need to do to make this available, because the balance part, especially if you have numbness in your feet, this is likely to be very difficult. So just please take care of yourself. Make this accessible, however you need to do that. So see if you can go ahead and come up and hold this. Again, if you want to sit on the front of a chair as you're doing this and just holding your heels up, it's just an isometric. Oops, I'm losing my balance. It's just an isometric. And it really, you don't have to be standing to do this. We're just trying to engage the calf muscles. It is good to work on balance a little bit if you're able to, because that helps to work on all the other little muscles around the feet and the legs. So bring that down. Maybe shake out your legs. Great. So let's go ahead and stretch out the calves a little bit since we just worked them. And if you are more of an adept yogi and if you're able to do down dog, you can do this in down dog as well. But this is a much more accessible way to stretch out the calves than down dog. So bring your left foot back. We're just going to do sort of a runner's lunge. So push your heel towards the ground and then lift up. And again, just make this feel okay. It shouldn't feel painful. But if you're stretching your heel back towards the ground, you should feel a stretch in the calf. And then lift up as high as you can. So you're really stretching out the toes there and the arch. And just move back and forth there. Just feel the edges of the stretch in both directions, with the toes and with the calf. Maybe hang out on one edge or the other. And then bring that left foot forward, right foot back, same thing on this side. So really stretching the heel down towards the ground. It's fine if you can't come down so far. And then up onto your toes. And just play around with your comfortable edges. When we go past our comfortable edges, when we go to places where it's painful, it can make your muscles freeze up. It can make you injure yourself. Probably not in something as simple as this, but in general, when you're doing yoga, just try to stick within those comfortable edges and you'll find that you open up more quickly than you would if you were pushing yourself too hard. So bring that forward. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this next stretch. We're really going to work on stretching out the arches. This is by far the easiest. The other one will be much more difficult and probably not for most who are watching this video. But if you're sitting in a chair, just sit on the side of your chair, and reach back. And we're really going to work out on just stretching the toes. So this will help to stretch up into the arch of the foot. And to really see if you can push your toes down into the ground. And again, just kind of make this feel good. So if this feels like a good stretch for you, just hang out here. If you're a little bit more experienced with yoga, a little bit more flexible, you can always do this on the ground as well with both feet at the same time. So if you start off just on hands and knees, and again, if this isn't accessible to you, just please hang out in the chair and keep stretching your foot that way and then switch over to the other foot. So, but if this is okay, if you can come down on hands and knees like this and sit back towards your heels, you'll feel that really stretching out the toes there. If you're a little bit more used to yoga, and if your knees are okay, you might be able to sit up on the heels. But this is a really intense stretch. Even if you're an adept yogi, sitting on the heels like this, you can really, really feel it through the arches. So if this feels too much, don't worry, you can work your way there, but it's fine to just keep your hands on the ground and just gently push back towards the heels. So if you are in the chair stretching out your foot, please, if you haven't already, switched over to the other foot. If you're on the ground here, we'll just hang out just a little bit longer. And again, just try to find the comfortable edge. If you can come up into the stretch just for a little bit, if it doesn't feel too intense, too painful, that's great. You can always back off. So let's go ahead and come out of that wherever you're at. So again, just close your eyes for a bit, feel your feet on the floor, and notice how you're feeling. Notice how your feet feel compared to when we started. And just bringing this attention to your feet, this awareness to your feet will bring blood and oxygen to them. So this act in itself, just the mindfulness of your feet, should hypothetically help with neuropathy. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down here. If you're not already in the chair, find your bum in a chair. And we're going to work just a little bit on the hands now. So to start off with, we're going to do something that's really working a bit on strength first, and then we'll work on a little bit of flexibility. So bring your arms up into cactus arms, just sitting really nice and tall in the front of your chair. You don't want to be slouching back because that's not good on your spine, especially as we're doing these things. So, and just make a fist and then stretch it out. And really try to make sort of a strong fist. We're working on bringing some energy into these muscles in the forearm and also in the hands. You can do it really nice and slow, just really gripping and releasing. As you spread out your fingers, and this goes for other things in yoga too, it's really great to spread out the fingers and you'll feel that stretching out through the whole palm area. But be careful not to spread your thumb out too much. This little joint at the base of the thumb is the most likely joint in the body to become arthritic. So when we spread out the hands, try not to bring your thumbs as far as they can go. Just bring them a little bit in, but the rest of the fingers, really, really spread them. So again, gripping, releasing, waking up the forearms. You can do this really slow, or if it's possible, move more quickly. Just starting to bring some energy and awareness there. Whatever pace is right for your body is great. Just make this practice your own. And then release, relax, shake your hands out. So now roll your wrist around. We're going to work a little bit on flexibility. So roll in one direction, interlace your fingers, and then the other. The second direction for me just always feels so awkward and wrong. I don't know why these wrist rolls, more than other things in yoga, it just feels weird going one way and not the other. So now bring your palms together. So let's work on stretching out the wrist a little bit, the palms a little bit here. So if this feels like a stretch for you, that's great. If you can bring your palms a little bit lower so that your forearms are almost at a at a right angle with your palms, that's great. But just whatever this looks like in your body is fine. So really pressing your palms together, whether you're here or here. And then bring them back up, and then press the hands in one direction and then the other. And really pressing your palms together. So this will be a stretch on one side and sort of a strength exercise on the other. The side that you're pressing with is really working the forearm out, and the side that you're stretching is stretching that forearm. And back to center. And then release, and again, shake out your hands. So I'm going to end this with just a little bit of sort of a meditation on the hands and the feet. So I highly encourage you to do this part, because again, I think the awareness in the hands and the feet is as helpful as anything we do. So just sitting on the front of your chair, sitting nice and tall. See if you can press down into your sits bones and rise up back to the back of your head, making yourself as tall as you can. Shoulders back and down. And let's start off again by just noticing your feet on the floor. Just feel the soles of your feet where they're touching your yoga mat, or floor, or carpet, or whatever surface your feet are in contact with right now. Just really feel where your feet are touching that surface. Now see if you can bring your attention to your right big toe. And then the next toe. And then your right middle toe. And then the next toe. And then your right pinky toe. And then feel the ball of your feet and all of your toes on that right foot. Feel your arches. Feel the heel of that right foot, the ankle. Feel your whole right foot. Now bring your awareness into your left big toe. And then the next toe. And then into your left middle toe. And then the next toe. And then into your left pinky toe. And then feel that all the toes on that left foot, as well as the ball of the foot, the whole front of your left foot there. And then feel the heel of your left foot. And then the arch of your left foot. And feel your ankle on that left foot. And then notice that whole left foot and ankle. So feel both feet on the ground. Move that energy, move your awareness up into your legs, and then your belly, and then into your chest. Feel right in the center of your chest. And then carry your awareness out into your shoulders. And then into your upper arms, your biceps and your triceps. Then down into your forearms. Then down into your hands and your fingers. Just notice the sensations of your palms touching your legs or your knees or whatever they're touching. Notice your right index finger, then your right middle finger, your ring finger, and the right pinky finger, and then your right thumb. And feel all of the fingers on your right hand and your right palm and the wrist. So feel the whole right hand and wrist. Then feel your left index finger, your left middle finger, your left ring finger, your left pinky finger, and your left thumb. And bring your awareness into your left palm and your left wrist. And now feel all of your fingers on that left hand, the palm and the wrist. Feel your whole left hand and wrist. Feel both hands again. Nice deep breath. And see if you can bring your awareness into your whole body now, from your toes all the way up into your fingers and all the way up out through your head. One big breath here. And nice complete exhale. And blinking your eyes open. So, yeah, I hope you felt that a little bit. I hope that it felt good. If not, please work on just bringing it back to those edges where it does feel good. And I really want to encourage you to, if you really have issues with neuropathies, these are great exercises to do, but just also in your normal yoga practice. See if you can really focus more. I know most people with neuropathy, it tends to be in their feet more. So really try to focus more on the sensations in your feet and focus on that foot lock that I did that we did in the beginning. Because that'll really help to sort of innervate the feet and bring the energy and nerves back into that part of the feet and open up the muscles. But this is not a quick fix. It's just slow practice, little by little, day by day, and hopefully you'll start to feel a difference. And please let me know if you are feeling a difference, or if you have any other questions or whatever, just please let me know. So yeah, I hope that worked for you, and I will see you in the next class. Namaste.